Hello, Uber pedal nerds. I'm finally back to doing stuff after Musikmesse and the crazy Saturday at Gamble Guitars. Thank you, Sasha and Robbie, for inviting us to do some really cool interviews with some major players in the luthier field in Germany. But now we're back to doing, demos and the daily grind, as I call it. By the way, I have a Facebook page now, HP42, just like the channel. Please go hit like, because you gotta. I don't know. My cup today says, Henning, how about a nice cup of shut the fuck up? My girlfriend loves me. So, before I do the unthinkable, which is taking apart the huge Boss Mega Pedal board. Why is it called the Boss Mega Pedal board? Because at the Boss booth at Musikmesse 2016, this was actually displayed majorly in the center of the booth. Totally crazy. My board was there. That's what it was built for. That's why it is completely exaggeratedly overdone. But before I disassemble it to actually get to all the pedals that I need for demos and stuff like this, we're gonna check out some things. It doesn't sound insanely great because I haven't actually programmed sounds with it. I programmed things so things do switches and things happen, but I haven't actually dialed in sounds. I really didn't have time, and that's not what the whole idea was. But I'm going to show you some of the concepts. So, first of all, the names, which you probably cannot see, I'm going to show you anyway. So on the first bank, I programmed some things so things happen when people at the Boss booth click. So the first name is Boss ES-8, and then we had Musikmesse 2016, YouTube HP42, subscribe, very important. Henning Pauli, so people know who the fuck I am, 42, and Boss ES-8 rules, because, well, it does if you know how to handle it. So, I'm gonna hit mute again. I'm going through the board completely in the front end of a Hughes & Kettner Deluxe 40 on clean into a 2-note torpedo studio. That's what we have. Let me see if I actually get some sound here. I have sound. We have in loop number 1 the Deep 6 and the gain saw. So you have to, select one of the two. In loop number 2, we have this whole board on top. So, which you can't see from this camera, there's actually 2 decks. So this top deck here has the Box of Rock, the Evolution Underdrive from Mad Professor, the VFE Focus, the Mad Professor Symbol, the Defen Rexiac from Milos Popovic, and the Mayflower from Walrus Audio. All governed by the Hex, which has some stickers on it. There are 2 more sub-loopers on this board. So this is sub-looper number 1. In loop number 2, when that is activated, then with MIDI, you have to pick which of these pedals you want on. And with the Hex, it is actually ridiculously simple. What I would suggest is, on every single preset that you do, you simply add a program change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just with the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, and blah, 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 and so on. So that every single time you hit a preset, the Hex gets a program change sent. After it gets that program change, it will simply be ready to accept anything that you want to program on it. So right now, there's loop number 3 and 6 on. If I wanted to change that, it's very simple. Let's say I want loop number 4 on, which would be the symbol. I turn them off. Loop number 4 on, and then you hit 1 and 6 at the same time to save. Flashing lights tell you that you've done it. Extremely simple. So when it comes to simplicity, this 6-loop MIDI looper is as easy as it gets. So I go back to 3 and 6, save, and I'm done. Now, loop number 4 is just my Mobius, which is under the board, which I hope the other camera can... It's down here. I have a whole bunch of Mobius presets programmed here, which is complete bullshit because I didn't actually tweak them. You would have to do this before you do anything because tweaking it underneath is almost impossible. It's very tight there. Something about that's what she said. I'm like, whoa, that was a bad one. This whole top board is powered by a Chox DC5. It almost sounds like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So loop number 4 is the Mobius. Loop number 5 is actually a, we didn't talk about loop number 3, yeah. 2 is the top board, loop number 3 is this crazy thing here. The Technofu by Sweetwater, the Blues Driver, Watercraft, and down here another 3 sound pedal. So you have to pre-pick which one you want depending on the song. Loop number 5 is a Jeddah Vibe and a Helix by TC, also underneath. I'm getting stuck here. Loop number 6 is either the Boss DD500, the Strymon Dig, or the Walrus Audio Bellwether. And that is being governed, bing bing, that is being governed by a Decibel 11 loop expander. Now that is here. And yes, the cables are beautifully actually drilled into the board, coming through the ribs of the board. That's nice. That's pedal porn. That's how we like it. So the loop expander can react to program changes, for which you would have to program it with a button that it has. The problem is that button is underneath, so I didn't want program changes. I went with continuous controllers. Now, one of the problems with the continuous controllers is you're sending it a continuous controller. I think in this case it's 84, 85, 86, and 87, so I only have 3 loops. So 84, 5, and 6. I think that's what it is. Not 85, 86, and 6, whatever. Those continuous controllers, you send either with 0 or 127 to turn it on or off. Now, let's say for a particular loop, for a particular preset, I'm turning on loop 1 and 2, which would be 2 delays. I go to a preset that doesn't send any of these controllers. Those loops will stay on. Now, technically, that's not a problem, because I can just turn loop number 6 on the ES-8 off completely, and then whatever in that sublooper is still on won't be heard because loop number 6 is off. I like it clean. I like the sublooper to be completely off when there's nothing happening. So what I did is, on all the presets, individually, I programmed those continuous controllers on that MIDI channel, there's 6 different channels running on this board, to be all 0. So it's leveled. So every time you go to any kind of preset, it will always turn all loops off. So then if I want something on, I go into there and turn that continuous controller on. It is definitely more complex than the hex. I rhyme. So, and then we come to the loop number 7, which is actually the Eventide, the Yodeler and Quattro in the loop, the Deeper Blue Delay, or the Strymon Deco, and they go into the sublooper M4L from G-Lab. In the M4L, same thing. I leveled every preset so that every preset is sending program change 1-1. Program change 11, which is actually turning all the loops on that 4-loop looper off. So on MIDI channel 4, I think, I leveled it. Every single preset, so that if I want something on, I can change it. It's a little bit complicated. You have to read the manual. What program change does what? Every time I have to think about what do I have to. 41 is 2 loops on, 1 loop up. It's a little bit complicated. But so that when I'm changing to a different preset, it's definitely off. I made sure that every preset is sending program change 11. And that's in loop number 7, and loop number 8 is just the reverb and the ditto in stereo. I went with only that one in stereo. It would have been nice to do all in stereo, but at some point you simply gotta say enough is enough. Yes. Sounds relatively simple to me now that I'm talking about it. You're probably like, what? Yeah. 3 different subloopers in loop number 2, 6, and 7. Programming it, I would very much recommend get one of them, get either the hex or the loop expander or the M4L. Right now, the hex with its 6 loops and its very easy programmability is definitely a fan favorite. If you actually had 3 hexes on top of each other, what you would do is daisy chain them through with MIDI. So they're all running on the same channel and they're all getting the same information. So on one, you would send program change 1, 2, 3, and so on. So the hexes always get the same program change. And all you do is, okay, I want this on, this on, this on, this on. Make little stickers on the front with what pedal is behind each loop. Then you turn it on and on and on, save, save, save. So you could actually have 18 extra loops if you had 3 of those, plus whatever is in the ES-8. It would be a relatively simple programming operation. Then again, the hex is $350. There's a reason for that. So we just look at a couple of things I've done. We're gonna unmute in in preset number 1. I have the comp on in this case. I have on the Focus and the Mayflower, which we can see here. Loop number 3 is on, which is completely ridiculous. I'm just gonna, because that's another drive, so I'm just gonna not do that actually. Four will be my rotary or something. 5 is yet another Leslie, another vibe. And then 7 is some form of delay. It's just completely ridiculous. And then on 7, I actually have a MIDI tap. And now I actually can change my master tempo, which now is 149. But this is just a tap tempo for the master tempo that's going out, which could be MIDI clock, but also can be an analog tap tempo. Again, not a realistic sound, just a sound that looked nice for the show. It gets better, guys. I'm playing my Quencel M3. Yeah! Nice guitar. With 4 Seasons pickups by Bob Gabriel. Here we have a comp. Loop number 5 in the hex is on, which is the Defend Rexiac. So we're gonna take the gain down a bit. Loop number 4 will be the Mobius, and loop number 6. On the hex, it's easy to see what's on. I don't quite know what the loop expander has on right now because the lights are underneath. So there is something to be said for making it visible what your loop expander or your extra looper is showing. In this case, it's the Strymon Dig. Next one, that's simple. That's just loop 1, which is the Box of Rock with some bellwether. Where am I getting stuck? What the? I'm completely wrecking my in the back. I don't know where I'm getting stuck. That's just the bellwether with a Box of Rock. Obviously, the Deluxe 40 has MIDI in and could be switched, buy this whole thing too. Just run a MIDI cable to it, and then you can incorporate it into the whole craziness. I got nothing in the loop now. I could incorporate some pedals in front, some craziness, of course. Number 4. Let me see. Number 3. Nothing's on right now. A delay in 6 and a reverb. Let's see. That's the DD500's digital delay. That's a loop I recorded, 2 days ago, with that sweep delay, which is crazy. That falls under the category just a bit too much. A lot. Number 5, we got loop number 2, which is the hex board again. In this case, the cymbal going into some form of whatever is on the Mobius, and then 2 delays. So let me check. And I actually have the delays in parallel. So whatever is in that decibel 11 looper and whatever is in the M4L looper is running in parallel. So there's clearly something modulating like crazy, big modulation going on. But the cool thing is, I programmed 8, which shows, the little red light shows you that, to turn loop number 4 on and off. So I could actually have that not in there. But I hear a little bit of, hear that? I hear a little bit of phasing. There's a little bit of phasing going on, which could be an indication that whatever is running there isn't again running fully. Wait, let me see. It's the deco. Obviously, there's some phasing going on because that's what it's doing. Haha! So I'm gonna get rid of the original signal in the deco. We know that when you have parallel loops, you could have that problem. Number 6 is running 5 and 4 in parallel, which is just probably complete craziness for some kind of modulation. 7 is, I have no idea. That thing really needs better feedback over what I'm playing. I have no idea. We have a comp, we have a modulation and some reverb, so that could just be nice. Where's the buzzle fuzzle coming from? Let's be crazy and change the comp for the gain saw. Well, apparently it's something that I can control with an a expression pedal. And on 8, we actually have parallel loops where I have a volume pedal. And I've got the blues driver in this case, the Watercraft blues driver, in parallel with an underdrive and the focus. So I can actually push in the underdrive and the focus if I want to. So right now it's just the blues driver. Let's blues it up. Obviously, we're also hitting the delay harder. Blah, blah, blah. Those are things you can do and a million things more. It's a little bit crazy. And the board, the way that you see it here with everything, all 3 power supplies, all the cabling and everything. Hey, X. This is X. He's my new buddy. X, sit, 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 sit. Yeah, super. Look, that's YouTube. Do you see YouTube? No, you don't see YouTube. He'll be back. In more videos, right, X? Because you live here now, right? Yeah, you live here now. The way that you see it here is about 10,000 euro. And obviously, if you spend some time with it, you can get better sounds than the ones I showed you right here. I'm going to do the unthinkable, which is take it apart now. We're not going to film that because that's just too painful, okay? But I need to get to my pedals. So, hope you enjoyed this. See you guys later.